Hey guys, welcome to Clockwork, Noodles for another breakdown of the Bartender 2024 remake. This is episode 5. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are looking after yourselves for another chill, very chill episode where we're going to discuss the episode and probably go off on a billion tangents. I love these videos because they are a lot more chill and relaxed than my normal ones. Honestly, they are a lot more fun to make when I have less script to go off. I only have one page. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. There is now 1 week left before my midway review where I'm going to crown my top 3 OPs, EDs, current standing of anime. Obviously that will change, but it's always interesting to see where my thoughts lie about halfway through a season and to see how wildly the results at the end vary. So very exciting. Make sure you are subscribed. At some point there will be a big announcement. I'm probably thinking mid-May-ish. I'll let you guys know exactly why in mid-May. So do make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on any of the big announcements coming your way. Let's just get straight to it. This week's episode, I have to admit, was perhaps the first time the departure from the original really made me go, actually, I do like this and I prefer this, because the original was very episodic. It was very grounded. This week we're going on a road trip, chance to go and learn something new. No doubt if you type in that distillery, you're going to find a real distillery there, which you can probably go and visit yourself. The original I really liked. It's always had a place in my heart because I remember Bartender and I think I found it and I was just chilling. I probably even binged it. But it was very episodic. Now, this week, with the additional backstory for Kelvin, I don't remember Kelvin being in the original at all, so he's probably a complete new addition. I really thought it was touching. The fact that it's not even resolved as well is what I actually think makes it more believable, more realistic. I guess portrayal of a childhood friendship that lost touch. You go your own separate ways at the end of the day. It felt really realistic, very grown up. The VA for Kelvin in particular is actually a legend. It is, of course, Saitama, One Punch Man himself. I hear is coming back for season 3 at some point this year. I can't wait. I adore One Punch Man the first season, not so keen on the second season, but really hoping that the third season can perhaps go back to the way it used to be. The original season had more heart, it had a lot more everyday, day-to-day stuff, and it just made things feel a bit more rounded. It had a bit more of a slice of life type feel to it, despite the fact that it is completely wacky and off the wall. Of course, Saitama is an absolute legend, and I love it. But we do see this week going on our little road trip. Our boy isn't really much of a talker, but he is absolutely hot. Our bartender friend has links to very hot friends. It does suck to be him because all he seems to want to do is just chill out, relax, and not really make chit-chat. And of course, he has got other reasons to why he's not really looking to be flirted with, which makes sense. Hands up in the audience if you learned something really cool about Japanese whiskey today. I definitely did. Now, when the girls do go bar hopping a little bit later on, Talisker, I think its name is, comes up. Back when I was younger and a lot more prettier, perhaps, not as stressed, I did try to impress somebody. I did buy them some Talisker. It was really expensive, but I wanted to really make a good impression. We are no longer friends, which really sucks. So I guess maybe I should have picked a different whiskey. It is really cool to learn a bit. And of course, we're in Kyoto, which I don't know, I've got so much hype right now. There's so much hype within me and I can't tell you guys, but there is a lot of hype seeing all these places that I know are real. When it comes to Bartender, it does tend to be seated in the realistic. These aren't made up places. These are real places that you can probably go and find yourselves, which I like. Maybe one day I'll have to go and check it out myself. But I do like the little the bits of the shrine showing us about the area, of course. Of course, the most important thing is the whiskey tour, I think is very important because today's lesson is all about understanding the journey in a sense. So you understand that this is how whiskey is when you first make it. 12 years, 15, I don't know, whatever, how many years later, the whiskey ends up maturing. I think the bottom line on that is people change over time. They become something different. You can't judge somebody based on what you initially see and then years down the line presume that they're going to be the same person, especially with the very touching backstory of Kelvin and his friend. That I think really, really works. Now, I don't know if Kelvin is still under his father's thumb. He perhaps is, but we do know he's learning under Mr. Perfect. So he's a bartender trying to learn under Mr. Perfect. And of course, seeing everybody's different opinions this week because everybody is a bartender, it's really, really fascinating to see a glimpse into different styles. I think with especially Kelvin, we see two people who share the same issue where I am the heir. My parents have chosen this path for me, despite the fact that I myself have dreams. I think the difference between him and her is, though, she definitely had a dream. She knew she wanted to try and pursue dancing, whilst our boy, Kelvin, didn't really seem to have something he really wanted to do. Whether that was bartending or not, I'm not sure, but he didn't seem to have a career very easily that he could perhaps jump into, so go his own separate ways and bring down the hold that his father essentially had on him. But it is a really nice episode, and I felt myself getting a bit teary at the end, where you don't know where she is and you don't know if they're ever going to see each other again. But I think that is what makes it realistic. Can you think back to some friends that you've maybe met once or twice back years ago and you don't even know where they are? You don't remember their names, you don't remember anything, and they could be completely gone. I guess as the years go by and as you as a whiskey start to age, you pick up all those notes, you pick up all those mellow notes, and you change your disposition, you change into a different person. You become the final product, which is what the tour around the whiskey facility is all about, and what our boy, the bartender, is trying to show him is it's not all about following a set rule. It's about understanding your customers, what they're trying to achieve when they sit down, and you trying to bring out the best in something that's taken many, many years to become what it is. So I really did enjoy seeing this week's episode. I really thought that the connection between the characters was nice. The backstory was really nice. It's a complete new backstory for me, so I really enjoyed seeing where it went. You initially think he's just a cold person who doesn't really want to make chit chat, but you find out that deep down he's got a heart, and the boy really does have his own personality. He's got an interest in Japanese culture. He wanted to go to the festival. You can see that he wasn't allowed to spread his own wings and become his own person. But I really enjoyed this week's episode, and I did think it was quite relaxed. I don't know, it made me very excited deep down. I think this week's episode was really, really good. I appreciate the departure from the original, and I think you've done it in a way that it still has the bartender essence, which I think is going to be the key. You can use the liquor. That liquor you change a little bit, or you still keep those notes, but it becomes something different, but it still is Bartender. The show is still Bartender, even though it's different from those years ago. I really appreciated the addition of making it a story, making it flow better, making these characters all have their own personalities and worries. A really, really good episode. I really enjoyed seeing the backstory to a character that we didn't really have in the originals. Big kudos, big thumbs up from me. Really, really did enjoy it. I hope you guys are looking after yourselves too. You are aging like a fine whiskey. Hopefully in years to come, you can look back, be proud of the journey that you have taken, even if it means sometimes taking a big risk and hoping that it's going to work out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you guys again very shortly. Stay tuned for big announcements and my midway review. Have a great day, guys. Bye bye.